Hey, this is Patrick Hunt here, and it's middle of May now. Recently, in the back part of the garden, I joined up two smaller beds to make one longer bed. So there was a little bed here, well, a smaller bed here, and another bed here that was a bit bigger. And in the middle between the two, I had a kind of a gap where you could step up from the gravel area here, which is all weedy and whatnot, up onto the grass area. So I never really was using this access point much anyway, and I felt that the garden behind here needed to be more enclosed. That's why I'm trying to create this effect that when you're on that lawn up there where the baby is going to be playing and whatnot, that you kind of are surrounded by plants. So what I decided to do was to fill in this gap, and the minute I got rid of the grass, straight away I knew it was a good move. So now I'm at the stage where I've got all this planted up, and I've all that planted up, and there are some common plants to both sections that are tying it together. Say for example the Geum Totally Tangerine, and I have some geraniums there as well. The geraniums run through down here as well, and I've got some grasses down here, like I've Calamagrostis Carl Forster. I think I have a bit of Calamagrostis brachytricha in there as well. There's Echinops, there's Cranberry cordifolia coming up. I've got a nice Cotinus over there, and there's lots of other things as well. There's some verbascums, and so we come to this section here. So what I did is I took off the grass, skimmed off the grass sod, and I've just started to bring in the plants that I want to put in here. So now the fun starts, where it's all about the arranging. So I'd imagine, just if you think about this section, it's it's about 8 foot by 8 foot, so it's about, I suppose, 4 square meters, and like I have 34, 35 plants down on the ground here, and this is kind of the density that I'm going to plant it up. It's going to be very densely planted, because if I can do that now while the ground is clear, I can suppress a lot of the weed growth, and I can get it to sort of bush up quickly. So all of these plants I've grown from seeds or cuttings or divisions, so I'm really happy about that. Literally every single one of them has been divided or grown from seeds. So I'll just talk you through some of the stuff I have, and then how I'm thinking about arranging it. So down here at the front of the bed I have Crambea maritima. It's in a different pot, it's just I reuse pots all the time. But this is sea kale, and I kind of imagine that in the winter time, what are you going to see? What's going to be left here? What structure is going to be left behind? So we'll have the Crambea maritima leaves at the front. This is west facing, so it's sloped. It's going to get a lot of heat down here. It's very free draining. And then just in around, now this will move, but this is how I've laid it out for now, just thinking about it. Then I've got some Tagetes patula here. I have some Cleome Violet Queen here, one there. I have some Tittonia Torchlight. Some of these need to move. So for example, I have a Tagetes there. So maybe that would be better here, and I could move that there into the middle. That one there is an Artemisia Powys Castle. That's going to be there longer than some of the annuals like the Teutonias and that. And I have a Cirsium atropurpureum there. It's a thistle type thing. And then I've got some annuals like some red kales. I think that's red boar, that one there. Is it red boar? Oh no, red curled. So they're similar. Even though they're edible, they're kind of nice. I have another red boar kale over there. So I'm trying to think about how that might tie together, having a few of those. And then as you come further up the bank then, sort of towards the back of the bed, I want it to be kind of more grassy, so that in the winter time you've got the grasses standing up. In here at the back then, a bit further up the slope, I have Panicle Squaw, which will have a nice sort of airiness to it later on, and it's got nice reddish leaves. And then further back then, right here at the back, I've got a mixture of Verbena bonariensis and Stipa gigantea, and I have more stipas dotted through the garden as well. So yeah, it's a bit of fun really, trying to figure it out. And then over here I have an Agastache funiculum there. So there's a lot of different plants, and you know, you could go to a garden centre, you could buy a plant, but that's 34 plants. If you were to buy those, you'd spend hundreds of euros. But for me, that's the density of planting. If you want it to really sort of do that sort of whoosh thing. And now, because this is only a brand new bed, I don't have any of the allium bulbs in there. I don't have any of the tulips that were in here earlier. So what I'll have to do over the winter next year is see how this goes. Maybe if things get a bit big, I might need to take a few things out, move things around a little bit. But what I'll have to do is run the bulbs from this section through into this section. And actually I didn't put any of the bulbs in there, just costs and all that involved. So I'll be running the bulbs that are from here through into here, and then I'll have to think about how that all works, and what other kind of early bulbs will be there in the autumn. More and more what I'm trying to do in the garden is think about, well, what's going to be left in the winter, because last year I found it died back and you're left with nothing, no structure, nothing at all. So trying to create structure from the sort of dead looking leaf tops of the grasses and stuff. And I want this to feel sort of like this wall of grassiness with flowers coming through, and it kind of creates this divide between this bit and this bit of the garden. It's slightly higher over there as well. But you know, it's an experiment. You can picture it in your head, but then when you see it growing, you kind of, you figure out what's working and what's not working. And the great thing about all this is you can move everything around anyway, and dig it all up and divide it and move it around. And you know, each year I have more and more plants, which means I can develop another little bit of the garden, because there are literally thousands and thousands of plants required for a garden. And you know, you couldn't go out buying them. You'd have to get a few and divide and grow your own from scratch. So this is what I'm at today. I'll do a bit more playing around with this. It's like a game of chess or a game of drafts, playing around, trying to visualize what it would be like in your head, marrying the two sides of the bed and thinking then about the relationships between some of the plants here and some of the plants that are in the garden already. Maybe a few of the plants from over here might need to come into this, or some of those plants need to migrate out there. Yeah, there's a lot to think of, but I really enjoy it. It's a real challenge, something new. So that's what I'm at today. Thanks very much.